Have you ever pictured a Viking charging into battle? Giant beard flowing, axe raised high, and, of course, a big, dramatic horned helmet on his head. Well, surprise, that iconic image is completely wrong. In this video, we're uncovering the real Viking gear, the origin of the myth, and how a huge mistake became one of history's biggest stereotypes. Whether it's in movies, comics, or even on Halloween costumes, Vikings are almost always shown with horns. Let's be honest. It looks cool. It feels fierce. But historians and archaeologists have been saying the same thing for decades. No Viking helmet with horns has ever been found. Not a single one. Not in a burial site. Not on a battlefield. Not in a museum. Nothing. So, if there's zero evidence, how did this myth even start and become so popular? Let's look at what we've actually found. Archaeologists have only discovered a handful of real Viking helmets, and they're totally different from what most people imagine. They were either round or conical, made of iron, and were simple and practical. Their main purpose was to protect the head in a fight, not to decorate it. Think of them like early medieval military helmets. They had no horns, no wings, and no giant decorations. In fact, adding horns to a helmet would have been a terrible idea in battle. It would make the helmet heavier, unbalanced, and downright dangerous. A warrior would basically be giving his enemy two convenient handles to grab their head and control them. Not exactly a smart move for a seasoned fighter. So, if Vikings didn't wear horned helmets, why do we all think they did? The answer lies not in ancient history, but in 19th century art, opera, and romantic storytelling. In the 1800s, Europe was fascinated with mythological, dramatic heroes. During this period, Viking culture was rediscovered and reimagined, but not with historical accuracy. It was all about creative flair. The biggest culprit was Richard Wagner's famous 1876 opera, Der Ring des Nibelungen, the costume designer for the show. Carl Emil Doppler created huge, intimidating horned helmets to make the characters look more powerful and fearsome on stage. The audience absolutely loved the dramatic look, and suddenly, this theatrical costume became a Viking trademark. From paintings to magazines, the image of the horned helmet spread like wildfire, and before long, the entire world believed it was historical fact. Now, here's where it gets a little interesting. There were ancient European helmets that had horns, but these weren't worn by Vikings. They came from much earlier cultures, like Bronze Age Celts and various Germanic tribes, often for ceremonial or ritual purposes, not for actual battle. These helmets were created thousands of years before the Viking Age even began. So, when 19th century artists saw these ancient ceremonial helmets, they mistakenly connected them to the Vikings, assuming they must have worn them too. But archaeologists have confirmed that this connection is completely wrong. The Vikings did not inherit or use this style. So, what did a real Viking warrior look like? If you were to meet one in the year 900, he wouldn't look like a character from a fantasy novel. Instead, he would most likely be wearing a simple iron helmet, carrying a round wooden shield, and armed with a long sword or a fearsome axe. If he was wealthy, he might wear a protective layer of chainmail. His clothing would be practical, made for cold weather and long voyages at sea. They looked more like professional, well-equipped soldiers of their time, not mythical horned giants. So the truth is simple. Vikings did not wear horned helmets. The image that we all know came from opera costumes, artistic imagination, and 19th century romanticism, not from history. But that myth became one of the most powerful and recognizable symbols on Earth. It just goes to show you, sometimes the stories we invent can become even stronger than the truth. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more historical deep dives.